Hi, and welcome to the next episode of Stinger Australia in Focus.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Travis. And today we're going to be talking about steering wheel control interfaces.
And what is a steering wheel adapter? So basically these are universal range of steering adapters which are designed to allow you to retain the buttons in your vehicle for your aftermarket radio. Currently, when you've gone and put in your Clarion or Kenwood or Sony or Pioneer unit into your car, it's great, it's fantastic, you've got better features and better audio, but your steering wheel buttons are vehicle specific. They're not designed to work with your aftermarket radio. And that's where the steering wheel adapter comes in.
Yep. So these will allow you to retain, your volume up, volume down, track up, track down, and also phone buttons, as long as the aftermarket head unit supports it. Another cool feature of these interfaces is that they have a non-volatile memory. So if your battery is disconnected or the car loses power for some reason, these interfaces will remember their programming. So as soon as you get power back up, those buttons are going to work for you.
So that's great when your car goes in for service, for example, which means you've just had your car had worked on, they've reconnected the battery in the car. You don't have to go back to the place that had your radio fitted and have them to reconfigure it like you do with a lot of aftermarket head units. These guys remember their preset for as long as it's been saved in it. And basically there's three different models that we do. You've got the PAC SWI RC, PAC SWI CP2, the Control Pro 2, and the PAC SWI CP5, the Control Pro 5. And first we'll start with the SWI RC itself. Now the SWI RC itself is a basic analog and basic data steering wheel converter. So this guy will work with hundreds of different vehicles, and it's designed to allow you to retain those buttons in your steering wheel, single press, but it can be customized to suit your needs. So say for example you've got volume up, volume down, track up and track down, and you don't want track up and track down. You can make them mode, you can make them preset. Basically it has customized depending on the radio you're putting in. And the cool thing with this, as Trav was saying before, is you're not going to lose those features if you disconnect your battery.
Now the next one that we have is the Control Pro 2. Now this has the same features as the RC module. However, it is a little bit more customizable. It will allow for long press and short press functions. So it's basically going to allow you to double the amount of steering wheel buttons that you have on your steering wheel.
Which is really cool, especially if you've got like an AU Falcon where you only have 3 buttons. Now you've got 6. You've got a Commodore and you've only got 4. Now you've got 8.
Yep, exactly. So, again, you can make your track up and track down button as a long press to do voice recognition or phone answer and phone hang up. Yep. Now it's also quite a handy little unit because it's also compatible with CAN bus vehicles as well. So this module will also give you an accessory out when it recognises a CAN signal or a LAN bus signal, and also has a few different ways that the module can be programmed. You can either program it via dip switch settings or manually program it using the button program on the side of the interface.
And there's a really cool application you can download which is free of charge for your mobile phone or for your Windows PC, which gives you the instructions you need to install the product, which means you can basically look up your vehicle make, model, and basically give you the instructions of what dip switches you need to set, or you can program it via USB if you have a Windows PC. Now, this will work with thousands of different CAN vehicles, GM data, so VE, Commodore, Mercedes. It'll work with BMW. But say you got a car that's a little bit more temperamental, then you have the Control Pro 5. Now this guy is the king kahuna of steering adapters. This guy is designed to do all the same thing you do with the Control Pro 2. So it does short press and long press, so you can double your button configuration. It also gives you an accessory output if the car's data, so GM, LAN or CAN bus. But what it also does is it actually emulates a factory radio. Now what does that mean? Say your car, the factory radio is part of the data network. So which means if you remove the radio from the car, your car's going to have a fit. It's going to show error codes, even when the car goes in for service. It's going to give you a lot of problems. Now this Control Pro 2, this reads the network, it ghosts. It basically sits there, takes the data, converts it for the aftermarket radio, which is great. Now if you have a car that's a little bit more temperamental, say
Mercedes.
Yes, say Mercedes, say a Volvo, where the radio is an integrated part of the network. This guy will emulate, it will pretend it is the factory radio in the car, keep everything happy, and allow you to retain steering wheel controls and add that aftermarket radio into the car. So you don't need any extra modules, you don't need any extra CAN bus adapters, they're all built into the unit. which makes it really cool. It also comes with a nice little USB lead here, adapter as well if needed, and the wiring harness. So the main thing with these guys we have here is basically a basic steering adapter, which is designed to work for, say, your older vehicles and more basic steering configurations with all major branded radios. Then you have your Control Pro 2, which lets you do short press and long press. It works with CAN vehicles as well as data vehicles and analog and what have you. Then, which only goes on the network, then you have your Control Pro 5, which emulates your factory radio. So the cool thing with these products is no matter what car it comes in, you're pretty much covered with these universal adapters.
Yep. Now there are plenty of other steering wheel interfaces out on the market, a lot of the plug and play ones, but they're vehicle specific. These ones make it nice and easy, a small number of products to have on your shelf, and you're pretty much covered for almost all situations.
Which is great for shop owners, especially on a Saturday when they can't get a hold of Trav and myself to basically learn how to get it in the car or connect it in there. These guys give you the instructions you need to get it in there, and you don't need any additional modules. So you can retain steering wheel controls and add that aftermarket radio into your late model data controlled car. And these guys are available from all Stinger Australia retailers across Australia and New Zealand. And thanks for watching.
Thank you, and remember to subscribe to our Facebook, YouTube and Instagram channels.
Catch you later.
See ya.